All right, Luca Nation, episode 597, I believe. I said 595 yesterday. It was 596. 597 today of Lucas Tigers and Bronze. And according to the big man, this has got to be quick. The kids haven't eaten yet. He's got to cook dinner. So it'll be fun. We're kind of at the tail end of this long weekend, this President's Day weekend of, hockey's on. But, what else we got? A little soccer. Champs League was on today. But NBA is going to be back in action in 2 days. So
one of our soccer fans was trying to mint a tiger today. Were you able to help him?
It's a work in progress, man. It's the things that you think are simple for yourself are much more challenging for someone who's learning. So I'm going to give him a call after the show, actually. Because, dude, it's hard to text. And
yes, that's what I tried to help also. And then I was like, you know what? Andrew could share a screen. I don't need to share screens. He can help you. He'll walk you through it. We'll figure it all out. We love that people are doing it. We had a little bit of a groundswell today on Twitter from your appearance with the wrestling cards, and then wrestling cards coming back from SGC.
How did I do? How did I do in that episode?
I think you were good, man. I think you were good. It's a little tough when you're going into, I don't want to call it unfriendly confines, but I've said this to you a couple of times. The thing that lets you avoid being nervous is preparation, right? You be comfortable because you have studied, right? You study for a test. You don't have to be nervous for a test because you know everything's going to be on it. Walking into a wrestling podcast, it would be impossible for you to know everything that's going to be talked about. So that's just a difficult thing. But you have your own way of kind of disarming things that you might not be an expert in. So I think you did a good job, man. You did a very good job.
The Paul brothers? The Logan Paul brothers were in the
Logan
WWE.
Paul brothers.
WWE.
The Marquise brothers, you call them.
Actually, the Marquise. But dude, what was that? They did a collab. They were in the WWE yesterday, right?
I don't know. I didn't see that. Did they?
Yeah.
Were they into the wrestling? I don't watch wrestling as much as I should. I should watch more wrestling. It's fun, and you're able to invest in Hulk Hogan. There are not many other people whose rookie cards are in 1982, 1981, the Cosmos and the Popey and the 82 Wrestling All-Stars who are kind of still doing it, sort of. I mean, he shows up every now and again, right? Ric Flair, right? Still kind of there. I guess, so is his daughter. But, with wrestling, you can kind of do it for a long time. Hogan did it for, many, many, many decades. We talk about The Rock. What year is that tuna fish card? 96, right?
Will you ever buy that card?
No. No, Darren Ravel told me not to. I mean, I don't want to get the wrath of Ravel online.
So speaking of wrath, universally, I got a lot of shit because I said Herbert's not that good. Okay.
Really?
And yeah, a lot in the YouTube comments, people weren't happy about it. And there's this Herbert tribe who are big Herbert believers. So I went to look at his cards, and his Silver Prism PSA 10 is a $3,500 card. Okay.
Wow.
100. I love where you're going with this. Pop 115. So lower pop. Anthony Edwards, same card, is $1,000. Pop 400. Talk to me.
I'd rather have Edwards. 100% rather have Edwards. I mean, football is great and all. When people love football is, I want to say more injuries. People get injured in basketball too. But, I think Edwards just has more upside. I really do. And I love Herbert, but, I've been saying, I can't believe you got the hate on it. Coming into the season, I told people to sell their Herbert cards. So I should be the one getting the hate on Herbert. But it's real tough. It's real tough in football. And look at what happened with Burrow. Yes, his cards are higher than they were to start the season, after he had a 4-11 year and was out for a year with a knee injury. Yeah, his cards are higher, but they're significantly lower than they were. And he went to the damn Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Yeah, they ran, but it's an unforgiving market. You don't win the Super Bowl.
His are the same as Herbert, $4,000 for a Silver Prism, and there's 120 of them. So a fourth of, if you kind of compare market caps, they're all very similar, right?
It's difficult because we've talked about this a bunch of times. There are Josh Allen fans. There are Lamar Jackson fans. There are Patrick Mahomes fans. There are Mac Jones fans. There are Trevor Lawrence collectors. There are not that many Zach Wilson collectors. There are Herbert collectors. There are Burrow collectors. Everyone I just named is in the same conference. They're in the same one half. Well, they're the same one half of the NFL. I didn't even name an NFC quarterback there, right? I mean, throwing a little, a couple other folks in there. I mean, I didn't even put Tua in there because I don't want to get laughed at. But I mean, think about that. Think about all the QBs, and you're losing Ben Roethlisberger. Who knows who's coming in there, right? You got Derek Carr, who is the MVP, best investment in the world. If your name is Vegas Dave, who knows who's going to be the QB for the Broncos? I mean, the AFC is a minefield. It's difficult to invest in that. It's almost like you two stock stuff, right? Like it's investing in the tech sector. When right now everybody's starting off in the same, there's no real like head and shoulders one better than the rest. You know what I mean? There's no Google. Herbert is not Google.
So you said Herbert. So you said Edwards has more upside. Who has more downside?
Yeah. At that price, I'm gonna say it's Herbert.
I tend to agree because when I saw that comp, I was like, Herbert's 4,000 for his silver. Edwards it's the same year. I know it's cross sport, but it's the same year cards. And Edwards is $1,000. I'm like, Edwards has more upside, and quarterbacks get hurt every single year. There's a season-ending injury to a quarterback, and not only that, Cage, to even add on top of that, Edwards is in season with a chance to make a playoff run with this Minnesota team. This is the first time they're going to make the playoffs, hopefully, in a long time. Herbert's out of season. I'm surprised by that kind of discrepancy.
And they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't.
Edwards is really young. It's an interesting thing, man. I just think in basketball, if you think Edwards is going to be one of the top people in the league, which I happen to think he will be, I think he will work. I think he's athletic. I think he will in the next year or two follow in Ja's footsteps, make the team better, be athletic, but also work on his game and become a better all-around player. It's kind of who I would model my Edwards plays after, which obviously if you went into Ja, as we suggested, you should, you're doing fine. I think Edwards goes on that trajectory. If you're able to do that, that type of player makes all the difference in team success in the NBA. Yes, teams win championships, but the team with the best players usually does fine during the regular season too.
1,000%.
You could be the best player in baseball, a la Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, whatever it is, and your team is garbage. Same thing in football. You could be the best quarterback in the world. You could be a great quarterback. You could be the most talented guy on the field, and that's not enough. You have to be able to throw the ball to someone. Unfortunately, there's not many people who can throw the ball up in the air and catch it themselves.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say he's in a great system in San Diego. So
I mean, they'll bring Lynn back for you, and you'll be fine. That's your favorite coach.
Happy. All right. So what do we talk about Tuesday?
Let's talk about two things, right?
One more day before NBA's back.
I need you to help me.
Atlanta this week.
Yeah, nice. Everybody go say hi to Andrew in Atlanta.
Culture Collision. Say hi. Seriously. And I'm getting in on Thursday. So if any of you guys are getting in early, Adam McNanny reached out already. Awesome guy, man. He said if he has an extra booth, so if I want to set up, people, the hobby's awesome, man. But if I'm getting in Thursday, if any of you guys are in town, I want to, grab coffee. Honestly, I'm going to go shoot some hoops on Thursday to get my stroke down. So let me know. Shoot me a DM.
Everybody message Andrew if you want to stroke him on Thursday. Stroke with him on Thursday.
What kind of stroke?
Okay. So, you mean like basketball shooting? Like flip. So you're going to help me with hopefully you can do some screen sharing today. So if you pull up my most recent post, I want you to take a look at this card. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's already getting a whole bunch of love. You got to go take a look at it. This is a 2007 Topps card. And New York City Sports Cards, I think it's the kid's name. He's in the comments. I saw him at the card show this weekend, 29 years old. He sent me a video of the news back in 2007 when he was a 14-year-old kid. And this card came out. There it is, just the top post. This card came out, and he pulled it at the store. And SSPs and SPs were not a thing at the time. And people thought it was an error card. It was like, oh, it was a big chase, you name it. So take a look at this card. What you'll see here, Andrew, is to Jeter's front side, that's Mickey Mantle in the dugout. In the stands, that's George Bush waving. You see him in the stands in a suit?
This is a sick card.
Yeah. But you can get, guys, this is a fun card. This is going to be Andrew's play for today, right? Fun little card. You can get this for a couple bucks. It wasn't as short of a short print as folks thought. Now, PSA, 10, gem mint, high grade, you name it. Of course, it's going to be for more money. But, I mean, there's plenty of these on eBay. You could take a look at them if you like. It was just one of those cool little, like throw-ins with Jeter. And you got a lot of people saying, I remember that card. I remember when it came out. I ran to the store to go and buy it. See, that's fun stuff, man.
Is this facsimile?
Is it a facsimile? Yeah, it's not a real autograph. A lot of years they do that Topps Bowman unit. They just put a facsimile auto on top of it. So, I mean, just a cool President's Week card. I put a little post up there. Let me know what kind of President's cards you like. There's a cool, I think, 91 Topps maybe with George Bush Sr. in his Yale uniform. I think also 2007, 2008, Allen Ginter had a big chase. It was a piece of George Washington's hair, like a strand of his hair you could pull out of the product. Pretty crazy to think of the things they put in the product. Meanwhile, if you're going to do that, you might as well put his teeth in, right? I mean, go all out, right? No? George Washington,
He had wooden teeth, right?
Yeah. His teeth was made of wool. Hip Hop Anonymous? Do you know the movie?
Along Came Polly. He's a hippo.
No. The hippo story that is from. I'll let you know. There are people out there yelling at their radios, wherever you listen. At your Apple Watches. It's from the movie Big Daddy. Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider. He is the delivery guy, and they're trying to teach the kid English and spelling and the words, and they're teaching him history. And it's George Washington, and Rob Schneider's like, George Washington, his teeth was made of wool.
So I'm not proud of this, but when that movie came out, I mean, everyone saw that movie. I think it was Billy Madison, and then they came out back to back. Remember, Haka Loogie, and then
pull it back. It down. Yeah, and then
we were in
that one touched the ground. That one touched the ground.
That was 6th, 7th grade, and in school we were doing that, trying to figure out how do you do that? It's so. There
you go. Listen, this is the deal, man. You hawk it down. Yeah, that movie. You haven't seen that one? Go take a watch. It's a good one. I use lines from that with my kids all the time. I'll drop them off at a party. I'll say, "Go have fun with your friends, Frankenstein." Because the point
what makes Adam Sandler so?
Because he's playing himself.
Is that what it is?
The movies where he's good, he's playing himself. It's what makes Vince Vaughn, either you love him or you hate him. It's because he's himself in these movies. You know what I mean? He's basically playing. If you got to hang out with Vince Vaughn at a bar, that's Vince Vaughn. I'm the asshole. That one. That's why Sandler is. When he's trying to be something he's not. The movies suck. But those movies,
like Click,
the murder mystery ones, or I never liked Spanglish, where he's pretending to be a world class chef, or that those kind of movies. But the comedy ones, you could see that Big Daddy, especially, you could see him decide, I'm gonna raise a kid, and just I'm gonna be a dad the way that I wish someone was a dad to me. Yeah, what's your name? Pick whatever name you want. I want to be called Frankenstein. Yeah, okay, well, his name is Frankenstein now. You want to go to school, dress however you want. And the kid's wearing, rain boots in the middle of the summer. And the teacher has to say to him, I've had some smelly ones before, but your son is by far the smelliest. I got the smelly kid in class. Yeah, so it's fun stuff, man. Anyway, so we digress on the movies. But yes, his teeth was made of wool. George Washington's tooth would be a fun card. I'm not going to get crazy with you guys with go get George Washington or Abraham Lincoln and stuff, but a card like that, that's a cool little fun President's Day piece. You kind of add it to the mix, and you throw it out there. Love to know if you guys have any other ones. President's Week. The kids are off from school the whole week. It's Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday. You
were never a big collector of autographs, Cage.
No,
you never.
No.
Is there a reason you just? Is it the illiquidity of them?
So that's part of it, although that's changing. People are getting into the autographs now. What's fun is I always like cards because you knew that once the year was over, unless it was the Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Upper Deck that I think they're still making in garages and basements around the country. Once the printing press was done, you knew that's it. They were done. Whatever was made was made. And then especially when you started getting back into it now, PSA and pop reports and that kind of stuff, you knew what the universe was. You knew what was going to be out there. You knew what the finite number was. It's sort of like shares, right?
Capsule.
I always like the companies where here's the amount of stock, not the ones that were going to be printing more and more stock. Now, of course, anybody can print more stock if they wanted to. With autographs, I will say that I've always been interested in autographs for people who were deceased. I always thought it would be cool to have like a Thurman Munson autograph, somebody who died early, died before their time, right? And didn't get a chance to sign a lot of autographs. But for people who are out now, especially young players who are out now, the thing that always concerned me about getting their autographs was that there are going to be so many of them. Like, there's no limit to how many autographs these people can sign. And then when they're retired, they can sign thousands of them. I guess what changed with that is these numbered autograph cards, the scarcity that's been created. You see that Tom Brady may sign a bazillion autographs. Probably not, because he doesn't have to, but he can. He's going to live for a long time. Maybe he signs a bunch of autographs. Who the hell knows? But that the championship ticket is a $2 million card because there's 100 of them, and there will only ever be 100 rookie autographs on the card. That kind of changed my thinking a little bit about autographs. Autographs in person, not pack pulled, I'm still not a humongous fan of. We talk about that Magic Bird, Julius Erving getting order. That's cool if you just want to keepsake for yourself. But as far as reselling and that kind of stuff, that's not my cup of tea.
This all comes down to probably the thing that leads to the most arguments you and I have.
What is it?
I say,
who's more handsome? And I say it's you, and you say it's me.
Well, I say, sometimes because we missed the boat on things, right? And I'm like, well,
yes,
but we were on it, but then we left too soon. And I'm like, do you ever want to just be a collector? I'll ask that open-ended question from Cage just to see, where his mind's at. Instantly, I get a 30-minute monologue of jab, 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 right hooks. So I'm curious, is that it? Like, do you think of yourself as a collector? Because I'll leave it open-ended like that.
I found a lot of times when I try to be a collector, I have this little, Andrew on my shoulder, devil with the pitchfork, trying to tell me, be a collector, be a collector. I find that those are the things that I should have gotten out of. And yet when the ones that I get out of, the price goes up and I'm like, damn, I should have been a collector. I kind of feel sometimes snake bit. I've seen some posts on Twitter about that, like, hey, I'm holding and, I feel like I should have sold and I sold things. I should have held on to them.
Yes, there is that revisionist history. I agree. But what I really mean is, let's say Lincoln was someone that was your hero. You respected him a lot. Mm-hmm. And you devote 10% of your money or 20% into getting things that you love. And getting an autograph of Abe Lincoln makes you feel a certain type of way.
Hey, Blinken, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. So I do have that. You make fun of my Christmas tree, but I've owned my Babe Ruth autograph for a decade. I've owned my, my auto ball for a decade. I've owned my Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig Gowdy cards for 2 decades. Those are not going anywhere. And
okay, so you are.
I've now owned my Jordan PSA 10 for a couple of years. It's not a couple of decades, but I owned it a couple of years. I've held it through up cycles and down cycles, and we'll see again if there's another up cycle whether I hold through that again. But I definitely do have a collection of cards that I've held now for quite some time.
But you hold those cards because they're easier to get out of, right? You don't want to hold one of their autos, for example.
Yeah, but I mean,
you don't want to get a baseball bat signed by Ruth or Gehrig.
Yeah, I don't love autos that, certain autos, like a Babe Ruth auto, if I had an opportunity to buy one at what I thought was a good price, I would buy it.
I don't agree with that. No, you don't, because you have not once watched an auction and sent me an auto of Babe Ruth and been like, this is a cool one.
There's not that many cool ones.
You would rather have a Type 1 photo, interestingly, than an auto of his. And I'm not judging you. You do understand I'm not coming off as
but there are not that many great. So first of all, Babe Ruth signed a lot of stuff, and a lot of his stuff is not clean autos. If you look at my ball, somebody actually reached out to me recently and asked me if my ball was for sale. My Babe Ruth ball, right? Yeah, you can look at my balls, pal. It'll take you a while. They're large. It'll take you a while to examine them. So he looked up Ruth ball. I said, hey, here's a picture. Take a look at it's Card Porn Heroes. It's in the video, the whole deal. It's right there. And he wrote me back and he's like, I can't afford that. It's a bold signature. It's really nice. There's a lot of Ruth autos that are not as nice as that. I'll be looking for one of those. I'm trying to buy it as a friend, gift for somebody. I have a certain price range. That Ruth signed a ton of balls, man. There's pictures of him just with 100 balls. Actually, look, there's a Topps SP recently, I think, that has Ruth signing 1 million baseballs. I mean, Ruth lived for a while, and everybody wanted a Ruth ball. So there are a lot of Ruth autographs. A game used bat with Ruth's autograph on it, that would be sick. Like that, I would totally. But it's going to be well into the 6 figures. So I mean, yeah, there are cool things out there, but I also have a budget, And right now, the Type 1s, they are cool, and they fit my budget. So that's part of the problem. Somebody like Michael Jordan, I have a feeling one day you and I will meet Michael Jordan. We'll be in the room with him. Maybe we'll get a chance to interview him, and then I'll get his autograph from that.
Cool.
And that'll be a cool
Gosh.
Michael Jordan autograph that I get.
Touche.
I don't need to go buy a Michael Jordan card, So anyway, so that's fun. Can I pivot it and you could pull this up for me? I got to thank Get Cash for Cards. He pointed this out to me. I didn't even know this existed, and we may be doing Elite 2 days in a row. Remember, you had your PMG like card with Herbert yesterday. I think Elite Basketball just came out, and if you wouldn't mind, you can pull it up on eBay. It's Elite Past and Present. I gotta tell you guys,
past
and present. And you can pull up LeBron, Durant, like pull it up by highest price if you want on eBay. Somebody showed me this. I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen. It's obviously a case hit SSP.
You got your
there you go. So there's the LeBron. Now, if you click on that and you'll see the two pictures, this is the way it was shown to me. Look at that. So you see.
Oh,
that's
like, cool.
You're like, well, there you go. That's the response I was.
Wait, I don't understand.
So
it's like the hologram.
It's the lenticular card. It's the one where, like my Sport Flicks, where you move the card and it's got two things. So you got the back. It's got him with both of his jerseys on. The front, when you move it, that's why you see the picture is angled. When you move the card forward and back, it's LeBron as a kid on the Cavs, and now LeBron as an older player on the
page.
Now, if you click back, Durant has one, which is really cool with this old OKC, and these are case hits. Derrick Rose has one. There's the Durant. So take a look at the pictures on it. You see, he's got his Brooklyn, and then they angle the card, and you'll see.
Oh, he's got Seattle Supersonics.
He's got a Seattle Supersonics. How sick is that? He's got a Seattle jersey from when he first came out and started. These cards are cool. Now, I wouldn't go tell you
single-handedly saving people's careers with this move, Cage.
Look at this. Look at these cards, right? I mean, these are cool.
That's
cool cards. Look at the Curry, right? Curry as a kid.
Wow.
Same uniform,
buy one of these.
Different colors. Okay, but listen, I think this just came out. I don't know what the production numbers are. They clearly are rare. They're pricing out as like stained glass or Kaboom type cards right now. But I had to bring this, and again, thanks for Get Cash for Cards for showing me this. And he basically was like, "Hey, King of Sport Flicks, you like those cards that like change when you move them like this? Check out this." So I spent a couple hours today looking at these things. There was a past and present card back in, I think it was 2012. I saw an Anthony Davis past and present, but it was a rookie. He didn't have a past and present. That's just what the card was called. Right? I think that was the release was called past and present. These are, I'm going to tell you what it reminds me of. I think it was 1990, 1991, maybe? Yeah, 1991. I'll have you pull it up too. But yeah, see, look, that's only a couple $100. It's Derrick Rose. Really nice.
I love how Derrick Rose hasn't changed at all. Just his jersey.
He's got the same pose. You see, they got the same pose of him, right? It's pretty funny, right? So do me a favor, right? Pull up. We'll come right back to this, I promise. Is where you can show everybody these cards. Pull up Topps double header for me, right? I think it's 1991, but Topps double header. Okay. Now, there's the Boggs. Keep going. The Boggs is the right one. Click on that Mattingly one. I want to see if it has both pictures. Doubleheader, 2020. Is that 2021? What? No. Not. So. I mean, I guess. Is there really a 2021 version of this? That would be amazing. So maybe because 1991, right? I guess it's the 30-year anniversary. So when I was a kid, there was a thing called Topps doubleheaders. They came in a little plastic stand. Well, that's different. That's very, very different. That's from 55 at Jackie Robinson. Really cool. That's like an oversized card, like the rulers.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, put 1991 in. Because I think it was 91, and that would make sense. If they're coming back now with Topps 21, I'm going to have to buy these. Or maybe it's just an insert.
Jeff
Bagwell. So what you're looking at here, if you click that, no, that's so Topps came out with this product. They were small, little like minis, right? And they were in a plastic stand. And on the front, it had the current year card. Maybe it was 89. Maybe I had the wrong year. But anyway, it had the current year card. And on the back, it had the rookie. There it is. That's the box of them right there. 1990. That red box. That's exactly right. Very inexpensive. Cool little thing, right? So what it was it was almost like a stand. It was in a plastic stand. Like you have the PSA stands. And there's Eric Davis' 1990 Topps card. And on the back of it was Eric Davis 85 tops rookie. Same thing. There's Canseco, there's Henderson. And it was a cool way of showing like where the guy started and where he ended. It was on the same thing. It was like you had like these little mini paper versions of the card with the guy's rookie and the current year card. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw those past and presents. So these were double headers. It was like a two-sided card basically. And it looks like in 2021 they brought them back. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to go find those now too.
That's a cool release by Panini. And think about it, Cage. How many players have moved? Like, first off, this is going to be all veterans, right? You're not going to see Ja or Luka. So you're already going to – it's going to give people a little opportunity to have some fun with veterans who typically don't have resale value. And it saves, LeBron, new team. Durant, new team. Kyrie, new team. Derrick Rose, new team.
Yeah.
Curry, same team.
Curry, same team. I mean, the James Harden one has 6 sides in the last 2 years.
It's a cube. I wonder if Giannis is going to be in there. That's a cool release. Shout out to Get Cash for Cards.
Yeah, man.
Release. I mean, it sounds like remember Cash for Clunkers? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. Maybe we'll have him on the show and he can explain his business idea to you. But in any event, it's I got a little yellow cup here. Dickie's Barbecue. Call me Dickie one more time and I'll kill you. You know what movie that's from?
No, tell me. Question.
I'll listen.
Juwan Howard over 5 games. What do you think of the suspension? What do you think of the situation? Any thoughts, opinions? And we'll wrap with that because I know the kids got to eat.
No, I mean, listen. 5 games. I think it's dangerous to have that kind of stuff go on. Right? Whenever that stuff goes on the court, we've seen like Malice in the Palace, we've seen fighting, that kind of stuff. It's dangerous. Between players, it's dangerous. With the fans involved, I think it's even more dangerous in college. The college coaches have to understand, I think, that they have even more of a responsibility, even the pro coaches, right? The pro coaches, these are professionals. They're getting paid. It's their job. If they go out there and do something, they get fined, you name it, the whole 9 yards. It costs them money. It's like it's a professional situation. Right now, at least for the time being, I mean, the rules are getting blurred now with the likeness and pay that the college kids are getting. But these guys are supposed to be mentors. They're supposed to be teaching the young men who play for them, the young ladies who play for them, young whatever. They're supposed to be the role models. They're supposed to be showing them how to behave, how to carry themselves. And if your coach is out there on the handshake line, which is supposed to be the sportsmanship line, right? You learn this from, I started playing tackle football when I was 4, right? You have a handshake line at the end of the game, right? You get out there. It doesn't matter if you just got your ass handed to you. You go out there and you shake hands. I remember a kid on my team in front of me punching a kid in the stomach on the handshake line. We were 4, right? And of course, it's a big thing. The coaches had to take him aside. The whole team got spoken to. This is all about sportsmanship, and nobody got hurt today. And you go and you say good game. Glad everybody got through this healthy. Good game. Good game. Good game. Now run to the sideline and get your orange quarters. If your coach is punching the other coach, I mean, this thing could devolve pretty quickly. Now, as far as 5-game suspension, I think we have to get into a situation. I mean, listen, I don't know whether or not, because the college, right? He's getting suspended by the league. He's losing his pay for his salary. I don't know whether the NCAA and or the leagues can get into, when you get suspended, you don't just forfeit your game pay. You forfeit a percentage of what you make that year relative to your job, because Juwan Howard's going to make more from endorsements this year than from his pay as a coach. So it's not even going to hurt that much for him. I
think that's the big thing. Even though I love a good old-fashioned fight on the court, I'm a big fan of that. I don't love it when Juwan Howard's life is made at this point, right? He's got a job. He's made his money. He has endorsements. If he stopped working today, he'd be fine. But these kids who, like you said, follow his example, they still have so much potential. Like, some of them might still go play in the NBA. And what if the kid does something following the lead of the coach where that cripples his future? Who's going to be there for that kid, right? Like, let's say he punches someone, that person gets hurt, and no NBA team wants to draft him now because it's a bad look, right?
Yep.
You could really hurt the future of your kids, whereas a college coach, you're not really trying to win national championships. You're trying to help these kids set them up for success.
You're 100% right, man. And the kids are under a microscope more than anything else. You remember Laramie Tunsil smoking weed before the draft picture came out of him, and his draft stock fell.
Smoking the reefer.
How many times do we have to go through a story now of somebody in the NFL, a young kid, whose life is just completely changed for the worse? I mean, you don't have to look much further than Henry Ruggs, right? I mean, you don't have to go too far, right?
Stop bringing him up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's these guys, they're mentors, and they got to take that stuff seriously. 5-game suspension is a 5-game suspension. Remember, it's a college basketball season. What are there, 30 total games, right? When all said and done. So, it's a decent suspension. 5 games, in a baseball season, not that much. It's 3%. 5 games in a 25, 30 game college season is a pretty good chunk of games. But I mean,
it's one of those interesting situations where nothing really happened, but it's like I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, come on. There's no room for that in sports.
There isn't. But it's like the Malice in the Palace became this huge thing because Ron Artest went into the stands, right? And that became an 86-game suspension. But if it was just a fight on the court and it didn't escalate into the stands, or that drink didn't hit him in the chest, well, they're all playing the next day. Maybe they get a 1-game suspension. And it's crazy how like little things like that, it creates this volatile situation and you don't know which direction will go.
Rule changes happen. And if you haven't watched it yet, I'm pretty sure it's the Heat. Watch the Heat and the Knicks fight. Right? You can pull it up on YouTube if you want, right? Put up like Knicks Van Gundy, right? And this was where the rule of coming off the bench happened. Right? So it was Knicks, Alonzo Mourning, Van Gundy is probably like your things to look for on YouTube. Right? And there wasn't a rule about coming off the bench. And of course, you get a fight going on. Everybody's coming off the bench. They're all coming in a team. But this was the infamous leg jockey, Van Gundy, where he was trying to grab Alonzo Mourning. I think it was Alonzo Mourning. And he's on his leg. And he's like holding on for dear life. It's a funny video if you haven't seen it. Have you ever seen it? Do you know what I'm talking about? Are you trying to find it?
I think I've seen it. I don't want to pull it up because we might get banned.
Yeah, well, let's not get banned. Anyway, you can watch it at home. We pulled up some fun stuff for you today. Really, I mean, on YouTube, Andrew pulled it up. If you haven't, take a second and look at those past and present inserts from Elite from this year. They're really expensive on eBay, right? I wouldn't tell anybody to go buy these things. Let it settle down. Let's see what kind of population these things have. I mean, just like I wouldn't tell you to go buy a Wander Franco PSA 10 right now, base card. It's the same kind of thing with these. It's like a half dozen or so of them on eBay. So, maybe get into an Elite break, see if somebody pulls one, or that kind of stuff. But they're really cool looking cards. Is
this it?
Go. So,
is this it?
Heat versus Knicks brawl. Yeah, look at that. Is that PJ Brown? PJ Brown throws him over. He flips him. Yeah, flips him into the stands.
Why does he do
that? Is that the whole thing? Yeah.
Why does he flip the guy?
I think that's Charlie Ward, and he's significantly smaller. And Ward is trying to box out a much bigger guy there. There's Alonzo Mourning.
Pick him up and flip
So
him.
Van Gundy there with the horrible hairline, he's trying to get in there and break him up. And of course, everybody comes off the bench, and they're in the stands. And you got to be careful with that. And then just
Hardaway, right?
Now,
is there?
Yeah,
Number 10.
Of course, they're going at it again, and everybody comes in. Pat Riley.
There's Van Gundy.
Yeah, here comes Van Gundy. You got John Starks over there. He's not going to back away from a little bit of a fight. So, but yeah, there's Pat Riley. Did it end? Is that the end of the video? That's kind of shitty if that's the end, because that's not even the best part. There's Ben Wallace, another guy. There's Charlie Ward got thrown. They had, I think Dan Marley was there. There's Ewing. They had 3 rookies that year, right? I mean, Wallace, McCarty, and somebody else. I forget who it was. There's PJ Brown. He was a net also. Anyway, lots of fun. You got to watch the whole video. I mean, you see it gets a little nuts again, and then Van Gundy's trying to stop the fight, and he winds up on the dude's leg. It's very funny. Yeah, man. Listen. I miss those teams. I miss the Knicks teams. They used to get into battles, man. They never won. Though.
They never won the fights?
They never won. They never won the fights. No, they never won the games. They got close. they got, they came real close against the Bulls. I don't forget Charles Smith had like 11 chances for a layup, tried to draw a foul call against the Bulls, and Jordan and Pippen just kept blocking them, and they couldn't get past the Bulls. You got Ewing with his finger roll. You got Reggie Miller embarrassing them. You got the Rockets beating them in Game 7 of the finals. It was not easy being a Knicks fan, and I mean, look, they were good. It was better than being a fan of a team that didn't make the playoffs, I guess. But they got you there, and they break your heart there. Anyway, that's a fun little President's Week episode. Enjoy. Take a look at that post that I made today with that cool Derek Jeter card on there. It's a little throwback from 15 years ago. Make me feel old. One of those SSPs that's got some cool stuff in it. Take a look at those past and present cards, and enjoy a little time off from sports. And
they'll be back before you know it.
They'll be back before you know it. And Andrew's going to be in Atlanta playing basketball. I can't wait.
Come say hi. Peace, Luca Nation.